Motherhood. Y'all know me. I love music, and I usually have a song for y'all. This song is something that a lot of us have heard, but I wonder if we all have listened to the words. I won't recite the whole song, but just bits and pieces from the verse. Verse 1 starts off or gets into the motion, and my boy Tupac says this. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. I finally understand. For a woman, it ain't easy trying to raise a man. Y'all know the song. You always was committed, a poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. Verse 2 continues on in the song, and it says this, and I could see you coming home after work late. You're in the kitchen trying to fix us a hot plate. That's what it say. You just working with the scraps you were given. And mama made miracles every Thanksgiving. But now the road got rough and you're alone, trying to raise two bad kids on your own. Not talking about y'all, this is his song. He said, I pour out some drink and I reminisce. Because through the drama, I could always depend on my mama. And when it seems that I'm hopeless, you say the words that can get me back in focus. When I was sick as a little kid, to keep me happy, there's no limit to the things you did. And all my childhood memories are full of the sweet things you did for me. And even though I act crazy, I got to thank the Lord that you made me. There are no words that can express how I feel. You never kept a secret and always stayed real. And I appreciate how you raised me and all the extra love that you gave me. He continues on to say, I wish I could take the pain away. And if you could make it through the night, there's a brighter day and everything will be all right if you hold on. It's a struggle every day. Got to roll on. And there's no way I could pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand you are appreciated. That's what Tupac penned to his mother to let her know that he appreciated everything that she did for him. While most of this song describes the things that Tupac did that caused his mother pain, he also stated how she stayed true to her word to be a good mother. She was not always perfect. There were some things that she had to go through, some things that she went without. And there were some things she wasn't proud of doing. There were some things that she couldn't explain, but she did the best she could. There was things she did in order to make sure her kids had what they needed and some of the stuff that they wanted. I'm not sure about you, but I can contest and agree, not fully on everything that he said, but I can definitely state the fact that I know and have seen my mother go through some things. I'm sure that you have the same story, that you may have seen your mother go without some things. You may have seen your mother make some miracles happen when it looks like nothing could be done. And that's only because you grew up and realized the stuff that was going on. I can be honest and tell you, as a kid growing up, I didn't understand everything that was going on, but I can tell you this, my mama made sure that we were clean, fed, and safe. We always made sure we stepped out and looked good. We always made sure we didn't go out with bonnets on and wave caps on, and we didn't go out in pajama pants. I'm sorry, I just took the opportunity to go ahead and say it. We didn't go out to the grocery store with slippers on, and we didn't do all of those things. But if you left that house, you better make sure your shoes was on and they was tied, your pants was on and it was above your waistline. You better make sure that your shirt was on and it was buttoned up and clean and ironed. You didn't leave the house with no rusty, dusty outfit. You made sure when you left the house, you looked as good as you did as you got out the bathtub. I can tell you for a fact that Irma Berry wasn't playing. She made sure that every one of her children looked good. Not only looked good, but she made sure we had the stuff that we needed. She made sure that we had the clothes that we needed. She made sure that our shoes fit. She made sure that we had all of our school supplies. And even when we didn't do right with our school supplies, even, I'm going to tell you how old we are, and I say we because my siblings are here, even when you took your crayon and put it on the register and let the wax melt, knowing you were supposed to keep those crayons to color with in class, she still replaced those crayons. She replaced pencils. She replaced clothing that we tore holes in, book bags and coats. And it was cold in Illinois, so we had to make sure that we stayed warm. She replaced missing gloves, everything that we needed. We had. I'm pretty sure you have a story that's similar to mine and similar to your mother. But we have to make sure that we understand what motherhood looks like. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. And if I could, I know this is Mother's Day, but mothers, I want y'all to take a seat, relax a little bit, and I want to talk to the children for a little bit. Is that okay? I want to make sure that we understand that even though some of us may have not had mothers who went to church all the time, even though we may have not had the mothers who ushered us into the presence of God, we still had a mother that made a way for us. The truth remains that if it had not been for your mama, you wouldn't be here right now. I know, y'all know what the song says. I know what James Brown said. It's a man's world. But you make sure you finish that song, because it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. These are the things that motherhood, that mothers have to go through, and things that they have to face. And we don't see it all the time. We don't see the late nights that they stay up and that they try and make sure that we have our breakfast and our lunch that's going on for the next day. We don't see the times that they struggle to make sure that we have everything they need. We don't see all of the things that the mothers go through. All we know is that our mama made it happen. All we know is that we had everything we need. All we know is that we were safe and we were able to continue moving forward. And we want to make sure that we thank God for our mother. But in the Bible, there's one specific mother that is the most famous mother of them all. This is the mother Mary, who was the mother of our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. We celebrate her all the time. There is history behind Mary. There's history behind all of the things that she did. But as we look at the text, we see that Mary is the culmination of everything. If we look at the text, we'll see that the history that is being recited, the history that comes forth from Matthew chapter 1, verses 1 through 16, you will see that the history is listed in a male strength, in a male form, meaning that the males' names are all listed through the history of Matthew chapter 1. They're trying to give the genealogy of who Jesus Christ was. But if you read what I just read, you will see that there are some excerpts, there are some pauses, there are some parentheses, there are some places in the passage that tells us just a few moments, a few times in the history, there were some mothers that had an impact before Jesus even arrived. And even on this day, as we come to celebrate and come to give praise to our mothers, we see that we have an opportunity to learn more about the history of motherhood. I know it's kind of hard to understand everything that our mothers go through, but I'm going to try and just help it out just a little bit. Here's the history that we understand. The first thing that we see in the text as we read it, as we get down, we see in verse 3 that it says they're talking about Tamar. Y'all know Tamar. Y'all know who Tamar is. Y'all not Tamar Braxton, but we're talking about Tamar in the Bible. She's the first woman mentioned in this lineage of Jesus. However, Tamar's story may not be a completely clean one. One of the things for sure about her history is for sure is that God's hand was upon Tamar. Tamar, the one who in Genesis chapter 38 was denied by man but appointed by God. While Tamar's husband was a wicked man, and God had to make sure that he took care of this wicked man. Her brother-in-law was a wicked man. God had to make sure he took care of both of them. So God killed both of those brothers because of how wicked they were. She was told to go live with her father as a widow. And if you know anything about Genesis chapter 38, being a widow with no children means that you are looked down upon in your community. When you don't have any children, you are not bearing any fruit. You are fruitless. You are almost as a barren woman because she was not able to have any children. But Tamar got a little sneaky. Tamar took her grieving clothes off, stood out in front of the town to pretend to be a prostitute, slept with her father-in-law so that she could have a baby, and ended up having twins. Named Perez and Zerah. She got a little sneaky with hers, but God's hand was still upon Tamar. Maybe y'all don't know Tamar. Maybe y'all know this next lady. This next lady was the name of Rahab. Rahab is a lineage from the son of Tamar, Perez. Y'all know Rahab, who in Joshua chapter 2 gained a place in history by hiding the spies of Israelite in her home. What she did is she told the spies, she said, listen, I'll hide you here, but I need you to make sure that no harm comes on my family, my mother, my father, or anybody that's connected to me. And the spies who were sent told her that we swear by the name of our Lord that you will not have anything happen to you. She had to go to the front door because somebody was knocking on her door, and it was the people who was looking for the spies because they knew they were coming in trying to take over the land. And Rahab told a lie. The spies were in her house, and she told the men, she said, hey, I don't know where they were. They came here, but then they left. And so now if you leave now, you might be able to catch him and be able to do whatever it is that you want to do with them, knowing to the fact that the spies were up on the roof, hidden under some things that she had. Rahab had to do what she had to do to protect her family. But if you don't know Rahab, if you don't know her story, then we could go down to another lady that we all might know. This is another lady who came along and got married to a good man. Y'all know Ruth. Y'all know who Ruth is. Ruth comes on the scene to tell us her story. Ruth is the one who clung to Naomi. Ruth is the one who clung to Naomi. Naomi told her, hey, you got to go. I have nothing else to give in my journey, but you have to go. The other daughter-in-law, she left, but Ruth said, no, I'm staying with you. Ruth stayed with her and didn't go back home. And then she ended up meeting a man named Boaz. Y'all know Boaz. Boaz did this. Get this. Boaz redeemed Ruth from the acquisition of the land of Naomi's son. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Boaz redeemed Ruth from the acquisition of land from Naomi's son. They get married. Ruth and Boaz have a son together, and they name him Obed. Obed is the father of Jesse and the grandparents of who we know as the greatest king of Israel, King David. And while it seems like now these stories are starting to get better, from Tamar and Rahab and Ruth, we run into this man named David, who makes the story look crazy. David was listed as a man after God's own heart, and he's also dealing with some things that he's going through, but he saw this married woman bathing in the sea. He was standing on the roof, saw this married woman, and he said, you know what? I would like to be with her. And he devised a plan to get rid of her husband. He took her for his own, and God ended up having to deal with David in a different way. After he killed her husband, David got her pregnant, but God had to stop that and did not allow that baby to live on. This is some of the things that this mother had to go through, and I'm not sure if any of you have had to go through this, where this mother had to deal with a lot. This is where she had to deal with so many different emotions. Bathsheba had to deal with the death of her husband. Then Bathsheba had to deal with this man trying to come after her and wanting her to get married. And then she had to deal with the death of a child that she was going to have. And then God's hand still rained on her and gave her a son. Gave her a son who David, after repenting, God gave her a son and produced the King Solomon. And your story may not be as motherhood, may not be like these women or as turbulent as some of these, but then again, your story may be a little worse than these women. But can I tell you that there is purpose to your motherhood? I mean, if you think about it, I know I just read them. Tamar actually provided a production of hope. Rahab produced a reflection of peace, and Ruth revealed joy in a time of trouble. Bathsheba showed us what love looks like. But mama, here's your encouragement. Your motherhood creates fulfillment. Your motherhood creates fulfillment. And the verse goes through another listing of men. The scripture goes through another listing of men until we get to the mother of Jesus, Mary, in verse 16. It does not look the same way that all the other verses looked. I mean, the whole description of the text shift in its texture. while the other mothers were listed in this translation, the New Living Translation, with parentheses to indicate a shift or a change that takes place, Mary has no parentheses. Mary has in verse 16 where it says, Jacob was the father of Joseph. Get this, the husband of Mary. Mary gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah. In this time period, the verse could have read very simply, Joseph, the father of Jesus, whose mother was Mary. But instead, it reads, Jacob was the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary. And Mary gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah, which suggests in this lineage listing that there's an end to the journey. The way it tapers off at the end creates an introduction to fulfillment. To go even further, Mary's story is not like any of the previous women listed in the verse. Matter of fact, Mary was just starting her journey as a woman, let alone a mother. We discover through the reading of the Gospels that Mary started her journey into motherhood on a supernatural basis. There was no getting to learn each other in her engagement. There was no opportunity to live together before they got married. No chance of a honeymoon period. Mary stepped from being a child into motherhood. And before she even stepped into marriage. Here's my encouragement to some of these young women out here who may feel like they have made a mistake. To any young mother out there that has entered into motherhood because of experimenting, this is to you so that you can understand, even though you haven't had a chance or didn't have a chance to discover who you were first as a woman before they have a baby, I'm encouraging you not to be upset with the baby. Don't be upset with the baby. God says to the adults, bring the little children to him. Get this, it's not the child's fault. Okay. It's not the child's fault. The sin was not in the child. The sin was in the sin. But you have to understand that the motherhood is the fulfillment. Here's your blessing for your Mother's Day. Mothers, I'm not sure if they've told you yet, but I want to thank you for your production of hope. Mothers, I'm not sure if they have explained to you or told you yet, but I want to thank you for producing a reflection of peace. Mothers, if they haven't told you yet, I want to thank you for revealing joy in my life. Mothers, if they haven't told you yet, I want to thank you for showing us love when we didn't even feel like we should be loved. Because most importantly, I want to thank you for the fulfillment of the calling on your life. I may never know all the things you had to go through. I may not ever know all the things that you had to deal with. I may not ever know how hard it was for you to be a mother. But I thank God that you did what you did. And if you don't understand just how hard it is to be a mother, fellas, we can only imagine what it's like to be a mother. We leave and go to work, and we have somebody else our age or older to talk to, while the mother sometimes has to be at home talking to a child who don't understand. Okay, maybe you don't understand because sometimes we don't leave work to take the child to the doctor, but they have to stop everything that they're doing and take the child to the doctor. Maybe you don't understand that, and it may hurt your feelings when the child don't want you; they want they mama. Maybe you don't understand how that feels for a mother to have a child and be having the fulfillment of what she was called to do in motherhood. But here we have a great example of what it seems to be the fulfillment of what motherhood is. We have Mary, who comes to us and shows us how the fulfillment looks as a mother. This is what it says. Jacob was the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary. Mary gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah. Maybe you missed it. I'm going to read it again just so maybe you could get it. Jacob was the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary. Mary gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah. And I'm not sure if you have ever experienced what Mary experienced. And I'm not sure if you've ever had an angel come down into your life and tell you that you're going to have the Messiah carried in your womb. Maybe you don't understand who you thought you were carrying in your womb. But can I help you on today and help to encourage you and say thank you for carrying the load. Thank you for carrying motherhood and making it look so great. Thank you for how you continue to love us like never before. And I just am excited because Mary shows us exactly how we should love our children. Mary shows us exactly how we should accept the fulfillment and the assignment as motherhood. Maybe you don't understand how Mary had to go through what she went through. Mary was a young girl. Mary was a virgin. Mary was discovering who she was. And Mary had to turn all of that off in order for her to carry the Messiah of the world. And Mary had to take all the love that she had for everything else and pour it into her child. Mary had to go without some things because of the child she was carrying. Mary had to go without some things because of how she was dealing with the pregnancy she was going through. Mary couldn't even enjoy her husband the way she wanted to because of the child she was carrying. And here's my encouragement. I know all the stuff that you went through for your child may have seemed like it was rough. I know it may have seemed like it was hard to deal with. I know it may have seemed like you didn't have any help. But can I help you on this morning? That even though Mary had to go through some of the similar stuff, Mary's needs were all supplied because of who God was on her side. And I just want to help you understand and help us to understand that I know motherhood is not easy. But I thank God for you going through the challenge of motherhood. I thank God for how you have blessed us in the way that you have blessed us. And I thank God for you being right here, showing us how to get towards Jesus in our life. Maybe you didn't know who you was carrying. You didn't know what you were having to go through when you were carrying. You didn't know what was going to happen as they got older. You didn't know that you would be on your knees in the middle of the night praying that they were safe in Jesus' arms. Maybe you didn't know all the trouble you were going to have to deal with. But I thank you for getting down on your knees. I thank you for handling us with so much care. I thank you for how you have blessed us. I thank you for how you have upheld us. And I thank you for how you have pushed us towards the Lord. And I'm thankful because of how Jesus came and still supplied everything that his mother needed. I thank God for Jesus and how he supplied everything that Mary was going through. And even though you may not have it right now, I think it's good to say that even when you get to a place that you're able to do something for your mother, you ought to at least say thank you. You ought to at least give her flowers while she can smell them. And I thank God for how he's moving in his life. I thank God for how Mary decided to keep moving in the way the angel showed her to move. I thank God for motherhood. And I thank God for all the mothers who are just like Tamar. I thank God for all the mothers who are just like Ruth. I thank God for all the mothers who are just like Rahab. I thank God for all the mothers who are like Bathsheba. Maybe I'm not down your row. I thank God for all the Mrs. Evans mothers. I thank God for all the Cosby mothers. I thank God for all the mothers who did what they had to do to make sure that their children had everything that they needed. Because motherhood is not easy. But motherhood is the fulfillment of what God has assigned you all to do. Listen, I will never be able to understand what it's like to carry a child and then have that child come out and talk to you any kind of way. Okay, I was the only one that did that. You didn't do it too much. I'm so thankful, and I'll never be able to understand what it means to be able to look at your child and you have told them everything that you possibly could, and they still went the opposite way. I'll never know what it's like to be able to sit there and watch them go down that road, and the only thing you can do is pray. Because after all of that is done, you still love them like nothing ever happened. Fathers, we have some type of ability like that, but a difference depending on the child. Whereas the mother, it don't matter. Your love is like none other. And it's just amazing to me that we have a prime example of how great love is through the mother who carried love. And this is the opportunity for someone who may have never understood what it was like. This is your chance. The doors of our church are open, where we have the opportunity for you to come and experience love in such a mighty, mighty way.